Welcome back everyone to the Complete Pineleaf. It appears that Angbor has a few more tasks for us before he heads off to Osgiliath. What are they? Let's go and find out. First he needs us to forge blades. Our smiths are taking a much needed rest, but we have not the swords required for all the men to march with us. You have many skills, Pineleaf. Will you forge some blades for our men? Let me see. Your smiths are getting some much needed rest. But this hobbit who's been running around, who managed to participate in just about every single battle of this war, is nice and fresh and can still spend some time to forge some blades. Really? What else? Yes, we're preparing to march soon. We must start packing the supplies that we will need on the journey to the Black Gate. Collect supplies from around the pavilion, then pack them into crates on each of the carts. Yes, and... Oh yes, as expected, much of the armor used in the battle upon the Pelennor has been worn and broken. I hear that you have some skill in armor repair. Would you be willing to repair armor scattered around the pavilion? Oh, where does he hear these rumors from? I don't know. Do I look like a smith? Good grief. Do I look like a smith? Oh well. Let's forge some blades. And finally, there is the last of the blades to forge. Now, let's cool the blades. Cool a blade. Let's cool this one. Then this one. By the time I'm done with this, the water will be so warm it won't be cooling the blade anymore, right? And this one. There you go. Now, I'm to get some helmets, right? And some chest armor and some boots. Oh, hold on, there is... Ah, here is some chest armor. Oh, supplies! Is it dinner time yet? Dinner would be nice. I'm sure there are more of these things scattered all throughout this little area. And eventually, we'll be able to have enough to feed all, what was it, 8,000 spheres or however many you've got. I forgot how many he's bringing along. Oh yes, we also have helmets, boots, and more boots, and quite an assortment of armor scattered all... Well, I guess I was getting it ready to warm it up for repair. It appears that there are even some items to collect here in the pavilion. And there are some boots. That gives us all of the armor. Okay. And we also need some more supplies. Supplies, just follow your nose, I guess. Where are there viable foodstuffs? Ah, here we go. Good, and now I need to fill crates. Alright, crates and barrels and the like. All over down this way, I would presume. Oh, well, here's the barrel to put the blades at least. Right, good. Hi there. I've taken care of the blades. I commend you for the quality of these blades. I am sure that those who use them in battle will best their foes. Well, I hope so. And also, I've collected the armor. I thank you for your diligence in assisting us with the hosts of the West. Alright, good. And I just need to fill the crates with the stuff I've collected. Supply crates are this way. Way here. In the wagon, of course. Well, at least then we don't have to have a quest to place them into the wagon afterwards. There you go. Done. Good, good. Now we're one step closer to marching east. One step closer. Ah. Is that finally it? It appears that the army has arrived here in Osgiliath, so perhaps the Rangers Battalion have something for me to do. Many of the buildings in Osgiliath are no longer standing or are partially collapsed from its conflict. I would like you to search the few remaining structures for any supplies that you may find. The Easterlings or Haradrim may have stashed supplies in these buildings before they marched on to the Pelennor. I hope that no foes remain in these buildings. Well, I am sure that if there are any, I'll be expected to deal with them. And we also have here, that's the, that's the rep quest thing, so we don't need that. Oh, that's right, I'm supposed to speak to all of these guys, aren't I? Hello, Arador. Well met, Pineleaf. When I saw the darksome clouds finally give way, I shed my fears of evils lurking in the Morgul Vale. I feel in my heart that these great lands are not truly threatened any longer. Well, I hope that proves true. And we have down over here. Here we are. Mithel. I was about to call him Mithril, but that would be a little bit too rich.
What tidings do you carry this day?
It's good to have you back upon the eastern banks of the Anduin. It was my honor to scout events of the battle before Minas Tirith and report back to Moblong. Many of us wished to join in the fray, but wisdom and discipline counseled we few would be better serve Gondor here. And truly, many a hurried messenger and routed retreating foe fell in our hands. Aha! And what do you say, Galathir?
The earth has reclaimed the deeds of men and orc, fair or foul.
I still can't thank you enough for rescuing me on your journey. It seems the secret of my capture did not stay a secret very long. Many a good-natured jest has been made at my expense. Still, I have kept true to my oath and given my all to thwarting the enemy at every turn. Okay, so let's get back to Moblong, making sure that there are no more people that desperately need to speak with me. I do not call the person with the rep daily to be desperately asking me for something. So what about Moblong then?
Though I know Aragorn not, a ranger will not lead you astray.
Now then, let us speak of securing Osgiliath. We have done much to sweep the foes from this place, but some remain. While they do, they are a threat to the rear flank of Aragorn's host, to the guard of Minas Tirith, and to my men here. To truly purge the enemies here, we will need your help, my friend. Alright. So I guess they were expecting me to do that before he gave the next quest. Sorry about that. Well then, let's go and find the Dome of the Stars, the Houses of Healing, and the Palace of Eldacar. This place can still be a bit of a maze, but at least it doesn't have nearly as many enemies as it had before the battle. Ah, the Houses of Healing. Here we are at the Houses of Healing. Let's see if we have any supplies in here. Well, let's see. There are beds in here. I don't think too many of the soldiers are going to be carrying beds with them. There's a reason why armies don't generally carry beds with them, and that's because where are you going to put all those things? You would have to have quite a camp following in order to be able to hold more than one or two of those things. So you could just imagine having one for all the soldiers. I suspect that in the course of history there have been one or two army commanders who have brought such luxuries around, and I hope though that that was rare. The Dome of the Stars appears to have a hole in its roof. I suspect the last time I was in this area between the dawnless day and having enemies all over the place, I really didn't get a good look at the dome, but I could say that yes, it's a dome, albeit one that is not in the best repair in the world. Alright, I'll be frank, it's an utter ruin. But let's go inside and see if we can find any supplies within. There better be, because I only found 2 supply crates in the Houses of Healing, which means that either A, I missed something, or B, most of the supply crates are in the other 2 areas. This one has 2 levels to it. That concerns me because maybe there was another level in the Houses of Healing and that caused me to miss something. Ah, here are 2 of them really close together. I would hope to find at least 4 here to give me some hope of finding a full set of 10 in these areas here. Hey, anything here? That's... Well, there'll be some upstairs apparently. I'll have to keep that in mind. But right now, let's see if we have anything near at hand. Actually, speaking of near at hand, there is one right here. Okay, good. So let's head on upstairs because apparently there are 1 or 2 more of them up there, and we want to make sure that we get as many of these as possible here, because otherwise we may have to backtrack, and we don't want to be going around doing that. There is a way to get around up here, isn't there? Here we go. I'm concerned about that flame. That doesn't exactly look like a very free people's type flame. I missed one downstairs? You gotta be kidding me. Well, I'll make sure there are no more up here first, and good thing I checked that because we've got one here. Very good. And we've got one here. Boy, this place is full of supplies. Surprise and supplies. 8. Good. Now we know that there's right. Alright, there's one more downstairs. So let's see if I can get down there without breaking either my ankle or my neck. Actually, isn't this the way I have to come up and down? Yep. Down. Look at that. Now this is likely the last one I need here because that actually brought me up to 9. So yes, it seems that the bulk of the supplies are in this particular building, which means that we'll expect to have at least one supply in the Palace of Eldakar, which I'm hoping will be easier to get to than it was during the previous time we had to go there. Of course, many of the bridges in the city are down, which is why we have the temporary bridges, which I suspect are going to be the way across for much of the time. Actually, there is a bridge down that way. Actually, you even see it there that has a temporary span to repair the one that was there. Let's get up here, make sure that there are no enemies about, and see if we can find this Palace of Eldakar, which must be easier to find it now than it was back before when I had to go all the way around trying to avoid as many enemies as possible. Though apparently the rats are rather vicious in this district, and there are still some orcs around here apparently. Well, there are worse things, like how Osgiliath was before the battle. It was certainly better to face 1 or 2 orcs than an entire army whenever I try to get through here. Right? You're not going to be an entire army. Now, let's find this palace. Ah! Here it is. My destination. And yes, I don't have to deal with half trolls and orcs, full trolls, and all those other things. And I hope there's some supplies inside. Just one supply crate will be all that I need for this quest. So where it may be hiding, I don't know. Ah, here it is, right now. Good. Now I have all I need for Moblong. A report on all 3 locations. Well, I guess I might as well scout a little bit deeper, even if the quest doesn't say anything about it. Yeah, I've seen it. I ran into a few orcs along the way, but none were within the buildings, and I brought back these supplies.
Will you hear my plight?
Good. You found some supplies and saw that the buildings were clear of enemies. These goods will be most useful for us in the days and weeks ahead. Well, good. I'm certain that these enemies still are out there. Search the city and find the craven creatures. We must clear this city of foes if we are to truly reclaim Osgiliath for Gondor. For Gondor! When you see several men standing there looking out and barricades in the way, it means that when you cross this line, you're likely to run into enemies. Now, do Ruin's bats count as enemies for this? I've got to check this. It appears that they do, or at least that's what the hover text seems to be saying. So there'll be one down then, and what did you find as enemies? Did you find some orcs and Easterlings and trolls? No, I killed a bat and a crawler, and maybe a rat. or something like. Maybe I better find some orcs so that I don't get laughed out of the city when I report in. Ah, yes, the dancing orc duo, and I can see my weapon is being nice, shiny, and bright, meaning that it notices that there are orcs in the area. Hello, defilers. Yes, we know all about them. Yeah, ha, gotcha. And now for you. And now go out and find a few of your companions so that I could reach my quota. I've dealt with the enemies that I could find.
Though I know Aragorn not, a ranger will not lead you astray.
Good work, though I fear that there may be more. Mirthel has spotted movement amongst the shadows on his watch. Still, you have made a dent, and yet we must not lower our guard. I suppose not. Yes, tell me, Pineleaf, have you crossed paths with anyone not clearly of the enemy's army since you entered Osgiliath? Myrtle spotted two cloaked figures entering the city not long before you arrived. While you were out hunting hidden enemies amongst the ruins, he spotted the two figures again. Will you try and find them for us? For if they not be friends, I tremble to think what they are, or what trouble they may cause us. Ooh. Who are these mysterious figures? Are they friend or foe? We have to find that out in the next episode of The Complete Pine Leaf.